Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time to play some Bard's Tale 4. Now, I'm gonna subject you to all the annoying pre-game stuff here just so we can see the lovely intro, which cannot be seen from the main menu later on, so sorry about that. Anyway, here we go.
Long, long ago, two grey gods crawled through a rift into this world and found it warm, lush,
Warm
and unclean.
It's very Scottish.
It lacked only worshippers. So these gods,
Why are there
the
Call of the
Famhair,
Cthulhu monsters in a
gifted
Bard's Tale
apes
game?
with thought, shaping them into a clever, violent race. Humanity. Great civilizations soon spread across the world.
See?
Bloodthirsty,
Squidheads!
cruel, and strong in magic. Then the Famhair turned their greedy eyes on Arborea and Canestia, the homes of the elves and dwarfs, who until then had hardly noticed the thinking apes or their gods. Thus began the All-War, as the elves and dwarves banded together to defeat the Famhair and their human armies. But the Famhair were unkillable. All that could be done was drive them back through the rift, and even this cost the old races. All their gods and heroes died closing it. Worse, the Famhair never stopped clawing at it from the void, rending the very fabric of the world. So, a song spell was made that would forever knit up the rift. And as punishment for their part in the war, a human king's daughter was enchanted so she might sing the song without food or rest for eternity.
Bet she's turned into a standing stone.
1,000 years on, and the maiden is forgotten. But the whispers of the Famhair still invade the dreams of the
Squidheads are
ambitious, promising power and crimson glory. 3 times have evil men heeded that siren call and sought the rift. And 3 times have they been defeated by ragtag and unproven heroes.
I bet these 3 are the villains from the first 3 games.
Today the whispers wake a new evil, more devious than those that came before. Who this time will stand against it? What heroes this time will rise?
There we go.
A summer's day in Scarabray
And here we are,
became
main
a
lovely
wintry
song.
night. Foes from below blood on the snow.
Now, it's not going to stop,
bright
so I'll just
crimson
start speaking
on
here.
White.
I've been looking forward to this one for
Madman
quite a while.
story of ancient glory.
I backed it on
Brought death
Kickstarter,
from
and
far away.
I didn't back at a high enough tier to
For
get an
eldritch
early
power
access copy or
dead
anything.
Mangar scour the depths
So,
of
here it is.
Scarabray.
You know, I started downloading it about
Snow in summer.
4:30 in the afternoon, and sometime around 5 or 6 in the morning, it
hair.
finally finished downloading.
Days
Steam
cold
lovely like that?
fingers tear us apart.
Now, there's a couple of issues I want to go over before I start. Whenever I open the options menu, it thinks the game is in German. I don't know why.
Days cold fingers.
If I go to full screen, I'm not able to record properly. But yeah, every time I open the options menu, it defaults to German. I don't know why the game
Fought
keeps out in
from
German
dawn
territory.
to dawn.
How
Though
bizarre.
we did win
Look, I'll just
too
apply
many kin,
changes,
gave life
close,
to see them gone.
open. Ah, it's okay. So it's
To
every time I
Mangar's
start
lair
the
we
game,
took the snare.
the options menu
Its
switches
hooks
to
did
German.
end his
It doesn't
reign.
actually change the in-game
Now
language, it just
there
changes
it
it in the menu.
lies, if fair he rise, to bring
So,
him low
Bard's Tale.
again.
I never really got to play the first 3 Bard's Tale games very much in the past. I got to play 2 or 3 hours of
Death's
each of them
cold fingers
around 1989, 1990, 1991, one of those years, at a friend's house on a computer. And it was quite a bit of fun, you know? I enjoyed it, I enjoyed the graphics. It was mostly text-based at that point. Wandering around town, bumbling into encounters, finding my way into some kind of dungeon complex in the sewers, and bumping into enemies. There were some interesting combats as well. I'm just going to check this is all recording. Yeah, so I had some issues initially with the combat system. In that, while it was entirely turn-based and almost entirely text-based, there was like text here and a picture of one of the monsters here. But it was like, okay, I want to, I'm going to have my fighter in the party go and attack. We've run into 5 berserkers. He's going to go and attack berserker number 1. So he goes and attacks berserker number 1. Berserker number 1 ignores him completely and goes and attacks someone else. Berserkers number 3 and 4 attack my fighter. I'm like, but he didn't go over there to fight them. Why are they hitting him now? It felt like it was very random, and there wasn't much opportunity to control the flow of the fight, because obviously you'd be like, I want to send this guy to go grab that thing's attention, fight it, go, oh, you're fighting me now. And it just didn't work like that. I understand the combat in this one will be rather different, and also the graphics have been significantly updated.
Became a wintry night.
Yeah.
Foes from below, blood
Now,
on the snow.
I did play a tiny little bit of the
bright
game,
crimson
just to
on
check
white.
that I could record it. Honestly, didn't do very
Story
much.
of ancient
I'll
glory
just
brought death
I
from
delete
far
this?
away.
No, apparently
For
I can't.
eldritch power did Mangar scour the depths of Scarabray.
Alright.
Snow in summer, ice in my
In that case,
hair.
I'll just start a new one. Now, the game does start with a default character who has 3 different hair colours depending on at what point during the opening you view the character.
Snow in summer,
Also, this bard, while magnificent,
ice in my
his hair
hair.
to beard transition is really disturbing me.
Death's
There's like a
cold
hard edge where his
fingers
sideburns end, which will become more
tear
evident
apart.
when we start a new game.
Against Mangar's
This,
horde
this
we
fellow with the
took up
pipe seems
sword
bored out of his
and
mind.
fought from dawn to
I
dawn.
think he's like almost like a kid, a
Though
childlike
we
face,
did
but let's go
win
for it.
too many kin,
So I called
gave
the other one
life to
Thirsty
see
Work, because the
them
bards
gone.
do need to keep their throat
To
wet.
Mangar's lair we took the snare. Its hooks did end his reign. Now there it lies, if e'er he rise, to bring him low again.
Singing in the Sunlight.
Snow
Let me know if you
in
get the
summer,
reference there. It is a direct
in
quote from a
my
classical
hair.
piece of literature. Admittedly, it's
Death's
only part of
cold
the line.
fingers.
And, hey, I'll let you guys know in the next episode what it was referring to.
Snow in
The song I sing will
Really
tell the
country
tale
transition.
of a cold and wintry day, of castle walls and torchlit halls, and a price men had to pay. When evil fled and brave men bled,
Really
the
bad.
Dark One came to stay, till men of old, for blood and gold, had rescued Scarabray.
I do like what they did for load screen there. Now, these load screens, on the other hand, do take a little bit longer than I'm entirely comfortable with in a game produced this year. But it's okay. So it's going to take a little bit of a while. I don't know how long it's going to be. We'll have this Triskel-like series of bubbles rotating in the corner. Well, it's not rotating, but the bubbles are rotating around the edge of it. I think of them as bubbles because some are larger, some are smaller, and they continuously flow. Some walls are cracked and weak. a chorus of Galfane's hammer will bring them crashing down. Let me guess, it goes something like Joshua the Battle of Jericho, 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 Joshua the Battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. God, I remember having to sing that at school.
Ready?
Not hardly.
Hang it! Take it for them! Give them the drum! This is only the beginning.
Thus, children, shall the sword father smite all who befriend the old races.
Hail, Henrid!
He shall drive the
So remember the woman who was shocked had distinctly black hair
He shall
in
burn
the intro.
witches and warlocks.
So we've seen this scene, cut to the intro, cut back to here, and my first thought upon seeing this scene was, these are really dated graphics. And I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way. I'm just hoping that, I mean, look at this woman here, right? There are sections of her hair that are not attached to anything else, including the rest of her hair. There are, you know, it's, when I say dated, they look old-fashioned. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but when we look at these people, I'm not saying the people look old-fashioned, like the garments they wear. It's more like the angles, the contours, things looking a little patchy. It just looks like something from 2006-ish, almost. And having seen trailers with beautiful graphics for the world and creatures and monsters, I can only just hope that, you know, these townsfolk here are not the main focus of the game, so they were kind of lower priority. Oh, that skirt just goes straight into that shirt with little, you know, it just flows straight into it. It's barely separate. We have a soldier here, and the, you know, it says hard times in Skara Brae, speak to rabble. So I spent a long time here trying to work out who among the rabble speak to. Turned out it was that man over there behind the big blue circle called Rabbi. At which point I want to call him Rabsi Nesbit, obviously. You know, I was here, I went around all these... oh, that's interesting. Look at that puddle over there. Yeah. The light doesn't quite fill it fully there when it comes in.
All who befriend the old races.
Can't speak to that priest, they've just hung a load of people.
He shall drive the elf
and
the dwarf
literally last time I went, I spoke to Rabbi and looked at a few tutorials. I don't like the big glowing beam of light, it looks a bit much. And this woman still had... Did she just walk through me? Lady, your hair is not fully attached to your head. And I can see bits of skin through the bottom of strands of hair because they're covering the sections beneath it. It's very disturbing. So yeah, I'm gonna play around with settings sometime later on, but for now,
Around. Streets closed.
for now, I'm just gonna record this episode and have some fun. And here we have the obligatory, you know, shaved side, top knot bloke, because someone's seen the Vikings series and thought, oh yeah, Vikings were like that. Blatantly weren't. They really weren't that much. I mean, where they came from was bloody cold for starters. Who are you? You are someone I probably can't interact with at all, and you look kind of frustrated, tired, tedious shopping, and have massive moles on the back of your hand. Okay, well, let's go talk to Rabbi. And shortly after that, we will have done everything I did previously.
Oh, that's a bad business. And no mistake.
Well, we'd better continue then.
I don't understand. What did they do? What was their crime?
Now, I'd like to remind you that, so we are now playing as the woman from the introduction who had black hair in the introduction. Yeah, soon it's going to be ginger, then dark brown, then ginger again, and there's something weird going on that I hope gets patched soon because it's a little inconsistent.
Their crime? Existing was their crime. The Fatherites don't like our kind.
So there's some kind of extreme racist purge going on here. I, as a player, don't necessarily know who the Fatherites are, but it's important to find that out. And hopefully Rabzi here can tell us.
Come on, before those paladins give us a second glance.
I'll give them a second glance. And maybe a...
Oh, here now! Save it! You'll only get yourself killed. And we need you. You're gonna save Skara Brae.
Now this is where it gets interesting, because prior to play I've been informed that I can make my own character instead of playing this pre-gen, but what comes up next strongly implies that she blatantly needs to be played.
You're looking at me like you think old Robbie's had a few too many. Well, maybe I have. But this is no drunkard's fancy. You've been in my dreams 7 nights now, and each one with the same end. You the hero, and me lost.
See, the angle of these cheeks to jaw ratio is very 90s, early 2000s computer graphics. It's reminding me of almost sort of like Tomb Raider kind of stuff. Now, maybe I'm just kind of showing my age a bit, but I don't know, it's a little weird. A bit sort of uncanny valley almost. But not quite uncanny enough. And his shirt is clipping through this here. Again, the interesting thing is, early in development, these character models were supposed to be used in combat, but now I believe it's more portrait-based. That being said, I've heard good things about the combat from this Bard's Tale game, and I'm looking forward to finding it out for myself. I know I'm kind of quibbling over fairly inconsequential things here, but I'm getting it out of the way now so that I don't get too hung up on it later, hopefully.
They all start with some evil slithering out of the darkness, and you driving it back from whence it came. But I don't make it to the happy ever after. And there's a moment right at the end where you could save me, and instead you choose not to. You just turn away and leave me to be buried alive.
Unless this literally happens at the end of the introduction tutorial bit, then it's going to feel very, very wrong. This is foreshadowing. I mean, he could just be completely off his trolley, but it would be nice for it to actually come together and shape some kind of events later on. Let's see how this conversation plays out.
Well, maybe that means I shouldn't trust you. But you're the best hope we've got. So I guess I'll just have to pray that part's not true.
So, she is the only saviour the town has. I suppose at this point, before any others have been created, that's quite possibly true.
Anyway, hero, let's get back to the Adventurers Guild. I have a few words to say to the congregation. This way.
And now she's ginger. This is going to come up a lot. So, a few tutorials on from here, we will literally be as far as I've been in the game so far, and I'm looking forward to enjoying it. Rabi, the leader of the Adventurers Guild, has temporarily joined your party. While in combat, Rabi can attack with his axe and shillelagh, as well as hand out health potions to his allies. This is Melody, the bard. She has a word for her name, and not only that, but it's one that is blatantly associated with what she does for a living. She's your very first adventurer. You'll be able to replace her with a custom character shortly, if you like. She can attack with a hatchet, gain powers by drinking booze, and plays Sanctuary Score to shield her allies. Look, it's hard to attempt a Scottish accent when you've got a dental appliance in your mouth, okay? I apologise in advance. But for any of you viewers out there more familiar with Scots accents, yeah. I may try from time to time, I might just not bother. But it's going to come out more like Rob Roy or Ramsay Nesbitt than Sean Connery. Although, for Sean Connery, what you need to do is never open the right-hand side of your mouth. And then speak two parts Scottish to 1 part Irish, and practice for about half an hour before you can really pull it off. Yeah, again, salivating too much, dental appliance in my mouth. I've done better Sean Connery impressions in the past, and I'm getting worse at it. I used to be better at it when I was younger. So yeah, Melody has a word name. I'm generally not very fond of word names, especially when it's like, this is dog, the dog, this is Melody, she sings. Great. She must really hate her parents for lumbering over that one. Or thank them, since it has synced up nicely. Which is like, when she was born, her parents were like, oh, our wee babby here is just going to sing. Let's call her Melody. I bet she went through a really awkward, stroppy, rebellious teenager phase. No, ma'am, I'm not going to sing for you. Pike off. You can bring up the party menu at any time by right-clicking. So, I'm going to do that. I have walked around this little area without heading out that way a tiny little bit. But basically, I'm going to run through what I did last time, which was look at some tutorials by right-clicking. So, I can click on one character.
Aye.
Or the other.
Aye.
And they seem to like it. I mean, look at those big cheesy grins. Okay, well, she doesn't like it. She's kind of serious and moody. He's like, hey, you selected me. Thanks a lot. Healing potion. To target an ally. Move.
How may I serve?
So interestingly, we can go on either side, but I don't think we can go central. I've opened up this screen, where she has dark brown hair that is not ginger or black. I don't know what it's supposed to be. There's something seriously inconsistent here that kind of makes me go, I feel that I feel that perhaps some kind of consistency regarding this character is in order, especially if she's supposed to be a main character we keep around a lot. Oh, my throat's getting very dry. I'll have to wet it soon. This is the character sheet, as well as the inventory, interesting enough. This window contains both the inventory and the character sheets for your entire party. From here, you can view your adventurer's attributes and passives, equip gear, drink potions, eat food, and manage your inventory. You have multiple inventory pages in which to store items. You can flip between your inventory pages by selecting the circular page buttons over here, or by using the left and right arrows. You can also see lore items or quest items by clicking on the associated button. On the left is the character sheet for your currently selected adventurer. Here you can see their attributes, passive abilities, currently equipped gear, and mastered abilities. Mastered abilities are abilities that have been permanently committed to memory by the adventurer. You gain mastered abilities primarily through your skill tree. You can select which mastered abilities you have active by opening the mastery book. You can change which adventurer you're viewing by selecting their portrait at the bottom of the screen or by using the arrows on either side of the character sheet. Lastly, you can switch over to the crafting menu by clicking on the crafting button here. Brew potions, build tools, and cook food in the crafting window. Learn new crafting recipes by buying them from merchants and learning them through your adventurer's skill trees. Now,
Eh?
we can swap here. See, he's fairly consistent,
Yes?
and she's a little bit not. Now, I have opened up the map and journal tab and sat through a tutorial there, and the skill tree tab and sat through a tutorial there. But that's not necessarily what we want to do here. Because obviously you want to see me play this game, and I would like to experience it. However, it's also nice to know what's going on. So, Constitution affects the adventurer's maximum health points. So, literally 12 points of damage, she's gone. Strength affects the amount of damage done by most attacks. That is very interesting. I imagine as Scottish characters they're going to be hurling things rather than shooting things. Armor class. Every point of armor negates 1 point of incoming physical damage. Mental damage and true damage ignore armor. Now by mental damage I believe they mean damage of the mind, not like, he's gone totally mental! Bam bam bam! You know. Spell points. Your adventurer's maximum spell point capacity during combat. And finally we have intelligence, which determines your ability to focus while channeling or using stances. Interesting. So we have some weathered padded jerkin, a tankard, some musical bones, simple rhythm instruments played by rattling them together in one hand. Now the writing on that is rather small. I may have to change the screen resolution to a different one again, but yeah. And a rusty hatchet, which interestingly gains +1 strength. She has Bayedish studies. Bayed adventurers gain a bonus skill point at level 3, 10 and 18. While it would be very nice to create my own character, I might stick with Melody as she's the intended default. I might just go look at my options though. What have we here? We have a hearty stew, which will... the entire party regains 20 constitution. Well... It's a party
Ready.
heal. No one in the party has that much yet, but we may need it. We have Trow's Squeezins. Trow kind of came about in the 80s as a... in role-playing games, as a Scottish variation on the word troll. As in just, they were like the Scottish troll with a Scottish accent, it's a troll! But, there may be something older than that in folklore. I'll go check between episodes. The poorest of the poor brew this rancid rotgut from rain barrels. It tastes of sorrow and regret, but hey, it's cheap. Wonderful. We have a healing potion here. 10 constitution. That's a big heal at this point, given that we only have like 12 each. We have a torch. A stick wrapped in cloth and coated with blaze pitch. It can light your way in the darkest of dungeons. It's advisable to keep several of these on hand at all times. Hey! Weren't the developers going to add the darkest dungeon torch to this game as a holdable torch item because they got so many people putting the game on their wish list before it got released? It doesn't seem to be here yet. Maybe it will crop up later on. And a lockpick. Requires training in lockpick. Fair enough. Disposable tools designed to bypass locks. Only trained rogues can make use of these tools. Okay then. Let's take a look at the map. There is our map. The green is a person. It just says an NPC, right? And quests. We have a little... I wouldn't really call this a quest so much as a minor, mediocre task or something. The Farrights have begun executing members of the Adventurers Guild. Okay, so the people who were executed were not the Farrights. The Farrights, therefore, worship the Father and are a religious order. Because the Rabbi told us about paladins. And there was the priest preaching. I believe they're executing non-humans as well. Also, now there's an Adventurers Guild. Now, generally, I dislike the idea of an established Adventurers Guild. I mean, Pathfinder just about manages to make it work, but the idea of being a professional adventurer and it being a viable way of making a living, it just destroys the rest of the fantasy economy. So, that being said, the original Bard's Tale games had an adventurers guild, so I'm willing to accept it as a something that used to exist in the older worlds, in the concept of the wave, the Wilbucks. Also, Skara Brae, isn't that literally an island off the edge of Scotland? I'm fairly sure it's a real place. A lot of the old games in the 80s and 90s use real place names, like the Lost Ghost Tower of Inverness, for example. Inverness is in Scotland as well, by the way. But it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Well, that's completely blocked off, and we probably don't want to go to the church there. Also, we've got the blatant blue... Oh, is it God? Is it? It's not shining up into the sky, but it's on the map. Yeah. Oh, we have a signpost. Let's go look at the signpost. Temple Street. Dock Street. Dock Streel. I suppose that could be a T. Okay. Let's take it easy now. That appears to be blocked off as well. You're not going to let me pass, are you, lady? Alright. Alright, okay. I'm actually kind of getting Might and Magic almost 7 vibes here, maybe a bit of 9 as well. Yeah.
You can't swing a cat in Skara Brae these days without hitting a paladin. Not that I'm prone to swinging cats.
Oh, of course not, Rabby. Of course not, Rab. Hogston's Market. Okay. Hogston or Hoyston? I think it's Hogston. Hogston, yeah. I'm going to call that a G.
Get your meat here. Finest chops and fillets.
Nice washing song there.
Guaranteed not to be cat.
Blaze guaranteed to not be a cat, because why would anyone want to swing that? I imagine that we can't interact with the majority of these. Hello, washerwoman.
The lake from which the blessed lady rose, wolves of elves, terrifies dwarves.
Protect yourself from monsters with a sword pendant, blessed by Bishop Henry himself.
What a load of shit.
Hey,
Always a few who'll take advantage of hard times.
she has the same hairstyle as Melody, and I can't talk to her. Excuse me, lady, weren't you... No. The person similar to you up there had a skirt on. I can't talk to you either. Wow, look at that weather-beaten face. Look at the detailing on that face, and then those hands. Not quite so detailed. I think I see freckles on the back of those hands, though. Maybe there's something going on with shaders that's a little bit weird. And there's a barrel here. You know what? There's people looking. Stuff it. Okay. Some sugar. Pure granulated sweetness. Goes well in everything and gives you diabetes if you have too much of this. This item can be used in crafting. Okay. Water. Ordinary spring water. This item can be drunk or used in crafting. Great, well we'll just take all that. Don't mind us. We didn't do anything to that barrel, you know. It's Melody, okay? She's still going through that awkward teenager phase. She never quite grew out of it, I'm afraid. At least, that's Rabby's excuse. Wow, you are loud, lady. And dedicated to using that washboard. Yes, the bottom corner of that door is missing. It's not something clipping through. It's an old, worn door. That's going to be seriously drafty. That is a nice set of shields. Well, we've got a kind of Norman kite shield there. Some bucklers and a targe. Oh, like a heater. Is that like a mini pavis? Okay.
This is where I always set up.
I don't care. You're blocking the public way. You'll have to move.
Well, where am I supposed to go?
That's your problem. Just go.
Now, will that become unblocked later on? I imagine it's not going to change right now. But I also imagine there's a place behind there we want to get to later. That hair is so very... two-dimensional flat strips. So... Neverwinter Nights 2. Okay, well these three are closeted in private conversation. And this man is very dedicated to his music and has blue stuff shimmering over his head.
Delicious soup! Best soup you'll ever have!
Well, alright, we'll talk to you then.
Aha!
Oh ho!
Come here for soup, have you? Well, soup is not an adequate description for what you'll be getting. You'll be getting fulfillment, joy, the tender embrace of your mother's arms. This is not just soup, it is a revelation, a liquid epiphany, heaven by the spoonful. There is no question that this soup is good enough for you. The question you have to ask yourself is, am I good enough for this soup?
Oh, probably not. It's probably going to be prohibitively expensive at this early stage of the game.
No. On consideration, you are not good enough for this soup.
Oh, I don't even get to make the decision? Fine.
Ruffians.
Probably something's going to involve interacting with him again later. Okay, this is bad. Bad, bloodstains, dragging. I imagine there's been some kind of violent murder here. I mean, that's a fair bit of blood. Workers scrounging off. Beggars.
Think not, lest thou sin.
More murder. I should...
There's nothing to be gained fighting the Fatherites head on. There's another way. At least, I hope there is.
Yeah, I'm hoping the blood was from them dragging someone here to execute.
Turn thou from superstition. Only the temple has the answers.
Rotten food and water. Maybe we can make poison.
Thy friends. Venture not into Scarabray below. Only evil dwells there. Laugh
Well,
not
he would
at
know.
trow. That is
This
how
woman
they
has
take
no feet or
thy
legs.
Soul. Bewarest thou heretics? The temple
And they
will
really like that
protect you.
hairstyle, don't they?
Block thy ears to the bard. They shall sing thy soul away. Song
Malefian
is
essence.
seduction.
This dust is what remains after a demon is slain. It is quite rare as it tends to blow before it can be gathered. And it's just been left here in public space. We better take this away and confiscate it. Okay, okay, this is very suspicious. Oh, weathered leather helm requires training in leather armor. A skull cap of weathered leather that provides protection from scrapes and cuts. Okay. I see it grants constitution. Is health just going to give us armor here? I mean, armor going to give us health? Okay, we have some meat. Some undeterminate meat. I have no idea what kind of creature it was. And here, some bone shards, fragments even. Okay. No one seems to have spotted our blatant theft and vandalism here. Grappling hook required. I don't think we can do this yet, but I bet we want to slide down to that thing. That is something for later. And that is glowing very suspiciously. Okay. Let's just vandalise another crate with no consequences. Hooray for old school game design. Hey, sharp bits of metal can be used for crafting. We will make stuff soon.
Depravity! Rhyme is ruin!
Lady, your hair is scary from this angle, but from this angle it's okay. You have very dark eyebrows.
Trust not the elf, nor the
I think you've been to an alchemist and purchased some kind of dye to put in your hair.
the elf, nor
It looks very dishonest and disturbing. Right, what's in here? Some wood. There's going to be an amazingly detailed crafting section later on. There's a gap there between those. Can I go up here? No. I hear music though. I'm gonna shy away from this vile execution.
Too much for you, eh?
Got a weak stomach?
You better get used to it.
All the scarab rail burned. Priests are through.
Yeah, that wood wasn't in the crate so much as it was the crate. I know how these things work. Oh hey, hello. I am definitely going to be looking into these crafting things soon. But for now, we just want to edge away from harm. Oh, you have had a hard time, fellow. I can tell by your wrinkled face, and your grey hair, and your grey beard, and your heavily muscled, not at all malnourished body. Yeah. Something about that just seems a little off to me. But you know what? It's a bit of an indie game, not the largest budget in the world. Kickstarters, they do allow wonderful projects to come into being. And if it wasn't for funding of people like me, then this might not have come together at all. So, I shouldn't be too uncomfortable, and
I've known some good tricks.
it's Melody's hairstyle again. Wow. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice,
Round 'em up.
but
That's what I say.
when it's so ever-present,
Dwarves and trow all my life. Finest people around.
these people don't seem too happy with what the Farthrights have been up to. I can't quite fit through this gap. And I'm kind of meandering now. I'm thinking I probably want to be headed down there. But
Seems like they're hanging anyone. They hanged my shoemaker last week.
He must have done
might not
something.
even be able to.
The temple knows what it's doing.
Ugh, big blue light. Okay, in that case, I suspect I cannot head in this direction. Ooh, invisible wall. Impressive invisible wall. Which is a shame. Maybe these people will move in a bit and let me go that way. But for now, I obviously need to go here to the Adventurers Guild. But there are plants I can pick. Blue witch root. I will give all of these a good looking over. Is there really going to be big signifiers over everyone here? I can interact.
Cabbage! Carrots! Potatoes!
Well, hello to you, Farmer Killop. Is that?
Aye? Cabbage? Carrots and potatoes.
Well, look, hi. Are you alright, mister?
Cabbage, carrots, potatoes?
He might be a bit simple in the head.
Aye.
We'll have to bear that in mind. Maybe he's had some kind of nasty brain operation done to him by the Favorites to reduce his capacity for rational thought. You are a gloomy-looking blue fellow. You are a woman with Melody's hairstyle, but the plaits hidden under your clothes. Yep. And a different face. And you have a really massive, very high eyebrows for the way your eyes are set. And... oh, is that hair or stuff on his head? I think it's just stuff. Like tattoos or something worked into his skin. No, it could be hair. Hard to tell. Hello, you. You are also sporting Melody's hairstyle. I'll tell you what. Whoever invented this hairstyle around here, they must be making a fortune. Oh, there's a Favorite notice. Now, this isn't like Martin Luther nailing his proclamation to the Wittenberg church doors. This is something of a rather more official nature. Favorite notices and edicts. Be it known that the Temple of the Sword Father seeks the adventurer Hnafi Oakmore. Hnif! A hnif! It's a hnif! It's like a knife, but with a hnif in it! Adventurer Hnif Oakmore for questioning in connection with necromancy and possession of forbidden texts. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is instructed to report to the temple immediately. By order of Bishop Henred. That shouldn't have been a separate sentence. Okay.
Here we are. The guild.
Aye. Here we are. And we...
a new recruit?
We want to see what this is. Place elven weapon. Turn of a page. Word of a sage. Sight of a fool. Start of it all. Okay, let's see. I almost want to say an arrow. But I'm not entirely sure. Wait. P, S, no. So the start is the beginning. The site of a fall would be the landing site, the crash landing, where the arrow falls to earth. Turn of a page, I'm thinking, you know, arrows like please turn over type arrow. I think I'm going to have to come back here and try something with this later on. Start of it all. T-O-A-P. Hang on. T-W-S-S. No. I'm thinking if it could be one of those horrible cryptic ones where the clue is actually irrelevant, but the weird way you interpret it is that you're supposed to know because you do lots of cryptic crossword puzzles. Alright, Rabbi. Let's head inside and see what we can do here.
There were more folk killed last night. Some great beast, they said.
And again, they blame us for it.
What I just saw at Henred's hanging tree was the last straw. We have to...
Do you hear that?
The song of the maiden. What does it foretell this time?
Oh, that's bad news.
Arrest the heretics! Burn this den of evil to the ground!
Oh, come
This
on,
way,
please.
hero! Hurry!
Would you like to create a custom character or keep Melody the Bard as your starting character? I'd like to create a custom character to see what the character creation is like. And then maybe have the option of going back to keep Melody. I don't know. That's a tough one to decide, isn't it? And I bet you I can't make the... What the hell? I pressed escape to bring up the menu to see if I could quit the game there, and it's given me Melody. So there we go. Wonderful. Don't be afraid to hire mercenaries. Sure, they smell bad and they can fill critical gaps in your party's makeup. Also, we now apparently have been lumbered with Melody, the many-coloured haired bard with a word name. Yeah. Okay. It's okay. I do have my other save to fall back on, so I can go look at character creation and then make a decision. I understand I will be able to create more characters in the not-too-distant future anyway. And she is the chosen one, apparently, so... You know, it would be kind of rude not to accept her. Plus, we have to sit through this whole load screen. I'm imagining there'll be scraps and violence in the very near future. And tutorials to show me through parts of the game. But I'll probably be ending the episode kind of soonish, so that it'll be of an uploadable, manageable size. I'll see what kind of state things are in after this load screen, though, obviously. I suspect the people we've seen will shortly be joining our party. Hooray for them. Wow, this load screen is really going on for a bit, isn't it? Oh, here we go. That's some nice music. Okay, A Home in the Dark, find the Adventurers Guild. I thought we were just in it. Well, we've still got these two. We now have some experience points. Are you leveling as well? You are, that's good. So Rabi has rather more abilities. I suspect he's going to get taken away from us soon. We now have different objectives. Hooray. Now would be a really good time to look at the skill tree. Welcome to your skill tree. Each time you level up, you earn a skill point, which can be spent to unlock a new skill. Click here to swap between the different skill trees of your adventurer's archetype. For example, attack, defense, and utility. Your skill tree is broken into 3 tiers. You unlock the second tier to unlock the second tier of skills, you must spend 8 skill points. In the one skill tree, or just all of them? To unlock the third tier, you must spend a total of 16 points. The first time you unlock a tier, you'll have to travel to the Adventurers Guild to be judged worthy of advancement by the review board. Ah yes, how very advanced Dungeons & Dragons, going back to the Adventurers Guild to train to gain your new levels. There's a good mechanical reason for that. It was a good money sink to avoid the bloat of treasure and constant income that heroes could gain. Okay. During character creation, you may not refund skill points. That is okay. So, for now, we have a number of skills already. Look, we have hot cross buns. Anyone know hot cross buns? Hot cross buns, hot cross buns. 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. Every bard's first instrument is the simple but portable musical bones. This skill is learned automatically and cannot be unlearned. Grants +2 maximum spell points, +3 intelligence. I presume these are built in already. Training in bones, and grants mastery in sanctuary score. Sanctuary score, give an allied combatant a shield with 4 constitution. Drunk, the allied combatant will be healed for 2 if the shield is broken. I presume that means if the bard is drunk. These may not be learned already? I don't know. We have an attack tree here. Basic combat. Automatic learn cannot be unlearned. Basic defense. Padded Badish garb, okay. Brewing, we have nothing. Okay, so it seems we have some starting skill points pre-spent already, and that's okay. I'm not going to look at... Him. Yeah, you. Rabbi. I'm not going to look at Rabbi's skill tree because while he has the same class,
Yes?
he's going to be significantly more advanced. And it could be interesting to learn from him.
Oh,
Okay.
we made it. What a nightmare, eh? Come on. We've got to get to the old guild and figure a way to protect ourselves.
Let's also try to not step in the fire. The flames here reflecting that puddle made it look like it was rather more on fire than it was. Nobody's followed us down that ladder yet. That's very suspicious already. Quickly now, is there anything in here? We can't... That's a very dangerous looking cobwebs. We can search. Nope, it was worth a try. You know, this could have been like Legend of Grimrock, where you really want to search in the first room and see what you can find. It's entirely possible that walking through these flames will not cause harm to our characters, but that is not a risk I should necessarily have to take. I mean, it is just causing a winding snake-like path here at the moment. And I'm sure... Oh, hey, that doesn't look secretive at all. It looks rather obvious. I like... Wait. I know these runes. These are more like Anglo-Saxon runes. Actually, they're a variation. Bloody hell, that sounded bad. Okay, I'll just open it then. Gonna go through.
The Adventurers Guild from back before the old town was buried is still here after all these years. Just a little filthier and liable to collapse. At least it's well hidden. No danger of another visit from the Fatherlands. Come on. We're looking for a green door.
We'll see about that. So the runes here correspond to their positions on the opposite side, rather than being the same array or layout. That's interesting in and of itself. That is not healthy looking liquid. That is not something we want to go swimming in or drinking anytime soon. We are now in that old fantasy trope, a sewer. Oh, manas! Hey! Are they going to use Anglo-Saxon runes constantly? No, mana was Celtic, but anyway. Oh. What? All I did was try to walk forwards! You have a character that can use spell points. While in combat, magic spells and bardic songs cost spell points to activate instead of opportunity points. That's alright, I did look at the manual. I understand opportunity points are kind of like action points. Spell points can be generated in combat by using abilities like Chug or Meditate. Practitioners also passively generate spell points each turn. Spells are easy to spot because of the spell gems on their ability icon. That's great. Chug, Sanctuary Skull, that's a spell. And you have the Healing Potion, Head Knocker. Is he just really badly built so he only has the same amount of abilities? I don't know, but let's find out. Do not enter. By order of the temple, this property is condemned. Disease, corruption, or abominations may be found within. Do not enter. You know, I have a sneaky suspicion we're about to do exactly that. Because I don't see an easy... Yes, I do. Do I have to stand in here? Do I really have to stand here? Okay. I would like to come in here and get these. Ignite. Okay, magical lantern has been lit. And as is the case with many old school RPGs, obviously I'm going in completely the wrong direction, grabbing all the stuff I can. There's an onion. There's some more meat. Can I? I cannot get over there from here. There will be a way. I'm sure of it. I'm not entirely sure what lighting the magical lantern can do. So we got a wall. Curtains, then more wall inside the shutters. That is weird. We're obviously expected to go this way next. That's one of those glowing
Hold
things.
on, hero. You'd better touch that luckstone. Luckstones have been around since before the All War. And it's always good to give them a rub, particularly before a fight. They can give you a second chance if things go wrong.
Are they save points? I bet they're save points.
There.
Yep.
Now you're safe. No matter what befalls, you'll come right back to here.
If these things exist all over the place and everyone can use them, I imagine there's going to be a lot of carefree, willy-nilly people just not caring about danger. Yeah, lots of just gung-ho acts of bravado and heroism. Yeah, alright, that looks big and heavy. And I probably want to push it from the other side. Hey, 2 healing potions. Great. Let's explore this way a little bit first. Now there's a sign if ever I saw one. One I can't interact with either. Interesting. I can't interact with that. Bloody hell, that went a long way. I thought it was going to be a lot harder to shift than that. I thought it would be a great grinding, a heaving. Nope. It's almost as if it's on runners. Yeah. That one's moving from the other side. Well then, let us press on further into the darkness and see what lies behind this shifting stone. Yeah. Big red dot on the map does not look friendly. Just saying. Oh, hello, what is this? Make an offering. I'm not sure we have anything to offer. 2 things. Okay. We got... Is that... flame or wind coming down, crescent moon, a wolf and a water. Air, water, moon, wolf. I think I'm not knowledgeable enough in this to... Wait. Angle... yeah. That doesn't... Hang on, is that was... So, oh god, that's one of the Anglo-Saxon ones I'm not so familiar with. Yeah, that really... I'd actually need to go away and study books to interpret those runes there, because they're not the ones I'm most familiar with. And that's somewhat unfortunate. Yeah, this isn't like Hellblade, where I could blatantly just read the rune messages everywhere on everything.
Are they adventurers? Did they escape the fire?
Bide a moment. Don't think these are any friends of ours. No, they're up to mischief. We'll have to fight them, I fear.
Ah! It's almost as if this is a combat tutorial.
These are measly foes.
How nice of you to say that, lady. Oh, hey, look, there's a dead person with nothing. Yeah, he's probably already been looted by these ones. Uh-oh. Look out! An enemy! Charge enemies before they spot you to get first strike! If they spot you first, they'll get the first turn. Rah!
Hell for my master! You're all dead, you hear me?
Combat in the Bard's Tale is turn-based. You have 3 opportunity points to spend each turn. This number will increase as you progress. Your adventurers have abilities that cost opportunity to activate. The only way to recover opportunity after it is to end your turn. Let's chop! I believe they're shared by the party. Let's go for a head knocker! And down you go, lad. Wait, that's male. That's not leather.
You deserve.
Okay, so that's on a reset timer. I could move her behind him.
On your word.
Or I could just chop. Victory! 10 experience points.
Kill
Nice.
for the masters. What masters, I wonder?
Yes?
Oh, there's something interesting going on here. Gold skate. Gold coins. These are the only form of payment cave merchants will accept. Very well. Cutthroat Dragon's Bile Bomb. I can rotate it and look at it. Okay, there's not a spike or a thing there. That's kind of leaving. However, there is a wick on the top here. I like the fact I get to rotate and turn this thing. Can I do it with that? I can't do it with the cursor keys. No. I think it's just for mouse. But go back. Well, I've got it now. We will keep this bomb away from that boat, and that water we just dripped there did a weird thing with the lighting line of sight. But there's a blue circle up here we need to move away from to explore what's over here. Oh hey, would you look at that? A treasure chest. Oh nice. I have a sneaky feeling that she cannot train leather armor, that he can wear it. Yeah. Actually, it's exactly the same.
Aye.
Okay then. Useful if we were playing some kind of more warrior oriented.
Searching for us, I'll wager. We better steer clear.
Yeah, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to double back and kind of go this way.
Maybe those rogues were carrying something to burn down these boards. What did you find on them?
All right. Oh, I didn't even have to back up.
Adventurers! Pluck them outside!
I want extra for this!
Combat in the Bard's Tale takes place on a 4x4 grid, with your party standing on one side and the enemy standing on the other. Movement in combat is critical. Which enemy adventurer hits depends entirely on where they stand on the battlefield and the targeting pattern of the ability they are using. Nice. Can't I... Insufficient spell points. She's gonna drink some booze. This will make her drunk and then enable her to cast a shielding spell on... You know, let's try and do this.
I'll bleed you, you fool.
Ah, I get to cycle for it. No, okay, just... Some throws, squeezes. You know what? No, I'll save that for emergencies. Right, okay.
On your word.
Probably a bit excessive. And you. That's probably the end of our turn. You've used all your opportunity and you have no spell points left to spend. Left click on the end turn button to pass the turn on to the enemies. At the start of your next turn, your opportunity and available abilities type of it will be reset. Interesting.
Aha! Ready.
Here.
Okay, that's on a reset timer.
Command me.
Okay, that was really disconcerting. We're just going to end our turn here and let things reset a bit.
Where'd you go it?
Okay, that is dangerous.
Here.
Drink up. And whoosh, smack.
At your command.
And then last, you can finish this one off. There's more up ahead.
Nasty scrap. Let's see to our wounds.
You've taken some damage. Heal up before your next fight by eating food. Right click to bring up the party inventory. Click the inventory button to press I, but yeah. Open your inventory, then right click on the hearty stew to eat it. Eating food heals your entire party. Well, next time when we're actually wounded, I will do that. That may have been a bit of a waste of a potion. He can wear this, she can't. Okay, actually. Yeah, the green, that's interesting. Wait.
Eh?
Yeah, she gets a red highlight, she
Ready.
can't use it. Okay, interesting. Enemies up ahead, but we don't want to... Ooh, nice. We'll want someone capable of using that. Boots. Again, I think he can use it and she can't. Nope, that's just a bit of the window frame. And another sword. Interesting. We're going to back up here.
More troublemakers.
Aye. It looks like we can't avoid them.
Hey, you!
There is no glory here.
Over there! Come on! Let's get to the killing!
Alright, well, you asked for it, lady. Oh, these are dangerous. Okay.
On your word. Pardon?
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Bring it on then, enemies. Interesting.
I'll give you a free one.
Before any of you watching make some kind of rude innuendo, I think she's just saying I'll give you a free shot. Come on. Oh, God.
Aha!
Do it. I mean, you shift to
Beg your
here.
pardon.
You never know, it might work. Yeah, she had to spend an action point moving across. And we're going to move her back over to here.
Ready?
And then he is going to go one. Let's see if we can spread the enemy damage around the party instead of having it all concentrated on one ginger character.
What are you waiting for?
Not a lot, I'll tell you that. Eh? Oh, right! Serves you right for messing with us. Oh, it reset party formation back again. We have some more skates. And we're kind of hurt. And feeling kind of better.
Eh?
Aye.
Aye.
You know, at this rate,
Ready.
no, I don't think he will level before she will. However,
There's another luckstone. Better safe than sorry, I always say.
this is an ancient luckstone. You'll find these all over the wilds and the dungeons of Cave. You can choose to save your game at one of these luckstones, or, if you're daring, you can instead consume the luckstone's magic, destroying the stone but gaining experience for the entire party. Choose wisely. Well, in theory, I can now go back and consume that earlier one. But I think I'm going to leave that decision until next time. Yeah. I'm going to leave it there. I think it's a good time to end the episode. I hope you've all enjoyed this one, and I'll look forward to seeing you all in the next one. But until then, I'll say bye-bye for now, and cheerio!